college and doing sustainability.
This is where we actually grow hydroponically, which means that we grow in a soilless media. So we use something called rock wool, which is some old stuff over there, which is basically the same as insulation material. So it's got no nutritional value at all. So you might think, oh, that doesn't sound very good. But basically we've got a computerized system. The tomatoes get planted in the rock wool, and then they are fed and watered, giving them exactly the right requirements in the rock wool without any soil. That is really sustainable because you can get a really high yield for the area. It also means that you can grow it anywhere. It doesn't have to be on cultivatable land. So there is actually a hydroponic unit down in one of the unused underground systems we have a sponsorship with. So Thanet Earth actually grow tomatoes in here, and students grow tomatoes in there. But all sorts of vegetables can be grown hydroponically. Peppers, chilies, just about anything. Through there, which I don't have a key to, we've also got a micro crop area where we grow veg, again hydroponically, and you can grow lettuce and things, and the speed that it grows. In the polytunnel, we've also got strawberries that you might want to look at. So we've not got any strawberries yet, but the plants again are planted. It's not a totally soilless medium there. We use coir bags. So compost nowadays is made up of a mixture of things, and often coir, which is basically the coconut husk, is used in compost. So again, you could say that is sustainability, because you know that's useless in any other way. It would be thrown onto a tip. So coir is being used in compost media. Thousands and thousands of years to actually produce it. It's produced, I think it's probably something like an inch every 100 years or something like that. So it's thousands of years. And digging up the peat really disrupts the habitat, and you get barren wastelands really when the peat's been dug up. So retail wise, we don't have peat in compost bags, and the DEFRA I think now is saying peatless compost by 2030, but that is a huge controversy because commercially majority of growers still use compost with peat in. It has really good properties for growing, and many commercial growers say that it's just not attainable to be peat free by 2030. Unless you've got any questions. You had a question, I'm sorry, I didn't.
It's expensive to set up, but is it also like, is it more expensive to run?
It is more expensive to run, but the yield, how much you actually produce, is so much higher. So yes, it's more expensive, but you'll get more crops. So if you're selling it, it kind of evens out.
Okay.
But this hydroponics really is the way forward. You're going to see a lot more things grown hydroponically over the next few decades. And for food security and areas where there is food shortage, maybe because of the climate, this allows high yield production. Any more questions?
What are the best ways to make production faster without, what was it you said? Peat?
Without peat?
Yeah.
So there's a mixture of different composts that you can produce, okay? So you can use a variety of different things like coir, wood bark, loam, but again using loam, which is sort of really good enriched soil, again is not really very environmentally friendly if you're using a lot of loam. But essentially, and it's a huge market, producers basically try to produce a medium that has got good nutritional value for plants, but also you need to get the drainage right as well. So Koya, for instance, has good properties for holding water, which obviously plants need, but it also allows drainage as well. So you need nutrition, you need the medium to give some stability to the plant and the roots, and you also need drainage. So it's getting a mixture of different things other than peat that will serve that purpose.
Also, you said many vegetables. Do they need more water or the same amount?
They're probably about the same amount, but what happens is that, again, the water is recycled. So here, and it's a similar situation in the one unit. There's drainage channels here, okay? So if you can imagine you've got your block of tomatoes here, water goes in with its nutrients in it into the rock wall. This is a dripper, and it drips in until the rock wall's saturated, and then it will drip out and will flow into these drainage channels. The drainage then goes all the way down to the other end. It flows down and gets recycled. It goes through a couple of pumps and units and a UV filter to sterilise it, and it starts again. And then there are also feeder tanks in there that we have to make up different nutrient combinations. And very cleverly, the technology looks at what has gone into the plant and looks at the difference, what has come out. And by looking at what the tomatoes have used, it can then do some lovely technical jiggery-pokery and putting just exactly the right amount of nutrients and water back in. So, and it's the same with that. So even if it requires a lot of water, and it is all recycled.
Would you say that you then get more use out of it?
Yeah, definitely. The actual amount of water that you use is 10 times less than just normal traditional farming methods, growing methods. So you get much more usage out of it.
Lovely.
Any
Thanks
other
ever so much.
questions?
Right.
No? Oh, yeah, sorry.
When was it set up?
When was this set up? So this was set up just a year ago, actually. So we've had one run of growing tomatoes, and can you see? Oops. What we do is there are wires which go all the way up to the ceiling, and strings. We tie strings all the way up, and the tomatoes we train round the string, and we cut out side shoots. And when they get to the top, we don't stop. We actually lower the string so that they can keep growing. So you get this train of tomato vine down here, and they'll just keep growing and growing and growing. And as long as you cut the side shoots out, they'll just keep going. And as long as you give them the right nutrients and water, they'll keep producing fruit.
Brilliant. So you've learned a lot about growing tomatoes and how what looks like straight greenhouse can be amazingly sustainable.
It is actually, can actually be classed hydroponics. I think now, providing you don't use pesticides, etc., can be classed as organic farming. Yeah. But the other thing that isn't there anymore is we bring bees in to help with the pollination.
Yes, they were there or not?
Well, I think they were long gone,
Yeah.
but the box was there.
Well, the boxes are all
But they only last a season, I'm afraid. They don't procreate and stay.
Would
Yes.
you say the tomatoes have the same nutritional values as the red potatoes?
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, you could actually argue that they've maybe got better nutritional value because they've been given the exact requirements that they need, and they taste delicious. You should come back in the summer, or if it's end of term, we do a plant sale here every Wednesday afternoon, and we will be selling the tomatoes. You can you could taste our hydroponically grown tomatoes, and they are delicious.
Brilliant. Right.
It's really wet during the winter, but I bet during when it's really hot and when it's really hot, this is all dry.
The way he's staring at us is making me uneasy. Hello? He's so cute.
You've still got food left. Finish it.
Yeah.
Otters aren't the one that stand up, are they?
No, that's meerkats.
Oh, they
That's
are.
around the corner.
That's what I was thinking of.
Your baby looking on meerkats the other night, how they might be actually making them go back and have the right accent soon on the adverts. Based on politics. It's time to stop them for a meerkat having a Russian accent, and you really should.
Hold them. Where's Leo? You gonna hold a snake?
Sorry.
Sophie held
See the pictures. It's fine.